That's why you called as the teradata. Terabytes of the data storage capacity. That is teradata. So the teradata is one of the data warehouse database. You can say within the market we have, Oracle, SQL Server, DB2. So multiple databases are there within our markets. But all clients now the market is converting into or migrating into other database to our teradata. Why? Why? Because of the teradata is supporting the parallelism. Parallel supporting is going on here. I mean, here parallel architecture. The teradata is supporting the parallel architecture compared to other databases. So I will show you the teradata platform, how it is happened, what is the platform about your teradata and development as well as teradata DBA, both of you. Right. So basically I have divided the 4 parts here, teradata training. So one is the teradata architecture, second part is like the teradata SQL, third part teradata utilities, fourth part basic teradata DBA. So these are 4 classifications. So first part like the architecture. Under the architecture I am explaining the how your data is going to work on that internally, physically. So I think that the architecture, how is it happen internally, the physical architecture. So how your data is distributed, how many nodes are supporting, under the nodes, how your data is distribution happen. So these are the things you are going to explain under the architecture topic. Under the SQL, I think you are aware of SQL. So within the teradata SQL, how the DDL, DML commands, so totally SQL, I think you know about that. And stored procedures, views, macros, these are the things. And you are going to create your database. So this is the second part like a teradata SQL. And third part like a very important. So within the right time we are going to use mostly that teradata utilities for import the data and export the data. So we have basically 5 utilities are there within our teradata. So with help of all the 5 utilities like a BTEC, fast export, fast load, multi-load, EPUB. So with help of these 5 utilities, each and every utility you have some scriptings are there. So with help of the scripting, you are going to execute all the 5 utilities. This is a utilities topic. Utilities for import the data and export the data. This is the purpose you are going to use the utilities. Fourth part like a teradata administrator. So I can help you the teradata DBA, that's the basic concept. So how to give the credential to multiple users. I mean one user to another user. How to move the space, one database to another database. How to grant permissions. So you can find out how much space is your allocation each and every database. These are the things you are going to expand under the teradata DBA. So these are the 4 parts you are going to cover within the 1 month duration. Actually, you have required the month. I think you are asking weekend. Okay, you are discussing that thing. So this is our training is going to explanation. So first of all, I can explain with help of the platform and the environment. Then go for what are the topics you are going to cover. I can explain each and everything. Just to consider, this is the first session. Nothing but your demo session. Right. So this is my teradata. So within the teradata, we have yes, Roy. So within the teradata, basically we have the different versions are there, V2R5, V12 version, V13 version, and the current version, I mean the latest version, V14 is going to work on that. But V14 is not available within our market. Still, some of the clients, they are going to use the V12 version or running version is the teradata 13 version. Still, I am going to use the 13 version. So the 13 version software is available. Now software you can install on your system also. You can provide the teradata software for it. That is the teradata 13 version. So once you have to start your teradata service control, not only start the server. This is a teradata server. See, when you start your teradata service control, not only server, you are connecting into your database. Right. I will show you under the database how you are going to work on that. Like SQL, but here different GUI format is there. You can execute the multiple statements. You can go into the, if any import and export the table or whatever we database level, each and everything parallelly is going to work on that. Just observe here, PDE state is run or started here, something is there. So PDE, when you start your teradata service control, I mean from starting onwards, your teradata is work under the parallelism. PDE means parallel data extension. Right. So now my teradata service control is started. Now I connecting into my database. Right. Open with Teradata SQL Assistant. So, but within your real time, the Teradata SQL Assistant simply this is the empty screen is there, empty. But this all the queries I worked within my office. This is the from the office I have to copy and here I show that these are the SQL statement. I think you are aware of these are the SQL statement. I think so. Right. So how to? I already created one user
Yes.
here and yeah. So any doubts? Browser. Right.
No, I
So
said yes,
here-
that's all.
Yeah. So here, ANR3 already created one database. So how to create the user, how to create the database with help of the some spaces and the school space, temporary, these are something there. I can explain that copy will come. That's sure. Right. So already I created my database. So with the password, I'm connecting into my database with my credential. See here. So I connecting into ANR3, this is my user, like this is my database. Under the ANR3, I have the multiple tables, views, macros, procedure functions, something there here. So under the table expansion, we have the multiple tables are there. So under the table level, you are going to create, you know about your SQL, yes, I mean indexes are each and everything there. So you can work on that. For example, see here, show table is there. Within the Oracle, you have the DESC command, this script command is there. Like within the Teradata, show command is there. While you create the table, simply you can create the table. Create table name like this. Just see here. Create the table name. Some syntax is different compared to other databases. See here. Create the party one table. So your party one table like this is created internally. I mean here some set table is there. I will tell you later on what is the set table, what is the multi-set table, which is you are going to work on that. These are the topics you are going to cover. And on the party table, fallback. What is the fallback? What is the general? These are all the productivity options. Protection of options are there within the Teradata. I think within the other database, they won't have this much of functionalities. So under the Teradata, we have recovery and the protection options are there. By defaultly, when you create your table, is automatically is going to work on that recovery and protection options. One more thing, within the Teradata, by defaultly, your table is going to create a primary index by defaultly. I will show you. So maybe I create this table unique to primary index. So unique to, non-unique to, you have the indexes are there. So for example, another table 1, this is the party table 1. See, by defaultly, your table is created simply here, right? Create table, party 1, party ID, party name. I'm not mentioning any recover options. See here, fallback or general, I'm not mentioning, only creation level. And also, I'm not mentioning any indexes also. So here, by defaultly, index. Based on your primary index value, your data is going to distribute or retrieval. Instead of the primary key, you can use the primary index. Why? Because of your improve your performance. This is the reason. So like here, you can multiple indexes are there. These are the unique primary, non-unique primary, secondary, and primary, and the views, macros, joiners, and functions. These are all the things I have worked on within my office. All the queries I have to show here. This is the views, how to hear that, what is the drop, these are the things. Multiple statements is available. These statements, all SQL document I will share with you. So not only this document, you have the multiple documents are there. This is my teradata class materials. These are my teradata material. And with the help of the scripting, all the folder, you have some scripts are there. So I will share you, these are the document, and also this is my running notes, class notes. No need to write any running notes while I am explaining the each and every point, line by line, I can explain. While I am explaining, just listen my word carefully. You have no need to write any running notes. Each and every point is covered and share this document for you. Right. So we have some duration there. So another duration, we are going to cover what are the topics. Topics means here, I classified the 4 topics, right? 4 parts. So one by one, I can explain here. So this is just a control demo. That's reason I have to display in here header lines, header names. What is the teradata? Once our session is started, I can explain line by line each and every point with the practical on the teradata tool. So first of all, first part like a teradata architecture, there is no practical. So internally, physical, what happened, you should know that is the architecture part. Second part like a teradata SQL, utilities, DBA, these 3 parts go for practical. Right. So what are the topics you are going to cover our running session? See, I show the headlines here. What is the teradata? Why go for teradata? Some features are there compared to other databases. What is the teradata advantages compared to other databases? What is the history? So we have the versions are the bit war by which version you are going to work on that. How many node systems you are going to support here, each and every version. So these are the history point level I can explain. What is the features? What is the teradata features? What is the difference between your teradata to other databases? Like other database means RDBMS, other databases, Oracle, SQL Server, DB, these are other databases. The comparison, differentiation. So which client, mostly it's now worldwide, so which clients you are going to use our teradata. So some of the list of the clients list I have given here. Retail market, financial, transaction, so transport, like this. So up to here, this is the basic points about the teradata. So come to the first part like the teradata architecture here. What is the node? Under the node, how your data is coming from the client, how to connect to your database. Once your data is coming from the client, your data, where your data is loaded internally, physically. How to pass your data? What is the standard driver? What is the PE and the partial engine? We have some separate architecture there in below. I will show you here. PE architecture, individual architecture. So under the PE part, what happened? So we have some work there. What is the PDE? Because I showed right when the server started, PDE. Parallel engine, that's the partial engine you can say, that's the PE. What is the binary? What is the use of the binary? What is the YAML architecture? Under the YAML, what's happening? Where your data is loading into your disk level. This is the virtual disk. These are the points I can explain. And what is the MPP? What is the SMP? Nothing but the parallelism is going on under our teradata database. Our teradata is support the MPP system, support the multiple nodes compared to other databases. For example, so within the Oracle support the SMB system, only one node is there. Single node SMB system is not the single node. If a single node is failure, what happened? Your data is something wrong. Your work is stopped. But other teradata, support the MPP, multiple nodes are there. Even one node is failure, you have the remaining nodes are there. The failure node of the data, you are migrating into what are the available nodes. So like this you can explain inductively one by one. So what is the MPP, what is the SMP, the differentiation. And the architecture, P architecture. Under the P, what is the session, what is the partial, what is the optimizer, dispatcher. So these are the points you are going to cover. That is the P architecture. What is the binet? And the binet, what are the features are there? How the connectivity, what is the use of the binet? How the connectivity? A layer, message passing layer. What is the YAM? Under the YAM, what thing is going on? Major work within your architecture. YAMP is very important. Total major work is going to happen under the YAMP. And what is the virtual disk? Which data, which disk is going to load it? I mean, we have managed the data distribution. What is the RAN? So another channel attached system. So at the above diagram, node architecture level, I showed you one single box here. Channel attached system. Under channel attached system, what thing is going on? And right side LAN is there. LAN means the network attached system, you can say. So under the network system, what happened? So part by part I can explain here. See like this. CLI, TDP, right part, network attached system, MTDP, MOSI, is all architecture level. How you are going to distribution? With the primary index value, your data is going to distribute as algorithm internally. I showed right before that when I create the table, by default the primary index value is created here by default. With this value, your data is retrieval and loading. Distribution happen. So and also within the teradata, automatic partition is going on in data distribution, but other database range partition, I think you know about that, other databases. And what is the teradata dictionary? And the teradata dictionary, what thing is going to integrate it, what thing is happen, and the teradata is not much repository. And recovery and production options. So write logs, how many types of logs we are going to work on that. Analysis, fallback here, the recovery and production options. See here, your table is going to create that. These are all the things. Production and recovery options about your database level. Fallback cluster. What is the difference between fallback and fallback cluster? What is the click? What is the ARC? So one by one, each and everything I have to in-depthly and show you. Right. Differentiation. Right one, right five. Generally, we have the three types of journalism. So these are the three types. See there I can explain. What is the fallback? And the fallback, what happening? What is the benefits of fallback? What is the fallback cluster? What is the click? What is the ARC? So these are the things we are going to explain under the architecture. Yes, Raoji is there, right? Raoji, I'm there.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. So this is the first part. Like the second part, Canada SQL Assistant. Nothing but the, see, while you are connecting into Canada SQL Assistant in the real time, this is the MT is there. The programs, Canada client, this is the Canada SQL Assistant. This is the MT. There are no Canada SQL statements are not available like this. You can connect into here like this, NR3 like this. NR3. You are connecting your database. But with help of your query is like a empty. I have passed this thing, so already SQL statement I have to work on that within my project. So these are all the SQL statements I can share with you. So I think you are very easy to understand that the second part like a SQLi because of you have some knowledge SQL. See what is the primary key, what is the foreign keys. I mean this is the basic concept about without knowledge. If any students came for that also I can prepare this knowledge without any knowledge about the SQL. If you have the SQL knowledge, you are easy to understand here. What is the DDL, what is the DML. So these are the DCL, storage procedure, and what is the help command, what is the show command, external command. So these are the things. And while you will create the table, set table, multi-set table. So here we have some tables are there, set table, multi-set. I can explain what is the difference between while create the table level. While create the table, you have some options are there. Create the table options, column definition, index definition. So these are the things. Each and every point I can explain. Give the example with the practically. These are second part like a practical. Column definition, explanation, and go for example. Column level constraints. I mean your constraints values already realized. Go for an example. Joiners, join operations. I think you know about that, like at SQL. Index is very important teradata. Why? Because of your table is created indexes here. Basically, we have the two types of index are there, primary index, secondary index. Under the primary index, we have the two types, unique queue and non-unique queue. For that, I give you one practical knowledge, example, and what happened internally also, I can explain here. How your data is going to distribute, how to going to retrieve the data by using the indexes. Unique queue, non-unique queue, primary index. What is the difference between primary key and primary index? What is the secondary index? Like a primary index. You have second index. You have the primary index. Why go for secondary index? Some reasons are there, should be. So why you can use the secondary index? In the secondary index, we have the two types, unique queue, non-unique queue. These are the things. And also internally what happened, unique queue and non-unique queue, how to retrieve the data, how to distribute the data, with help of the indexes. I think you know about, right, with help, instead of the primary key, you can use the indexes. Why? You can improve the performance. And what is the difference between primary index and secondary indexes? And what is the, how to create the user, the database. You can use the permanent space, full space, temporary, some spaces and all. So one way, what is the permanent space, which situation, what is the school, what is the temporary. So I can expand by database creation level. And the views are there, how to create the views, single table view or multi-table view, two types of views are there here. Macros, what is the benefits of the macros? What is the difference between macros and views? And teradata functions. So we have the 8 functions are there here. Basically, we are going to work on the one by one. Definition, syntax, and example. So these are the things I am going to explain the practical here, about here. All the things you are going to give the practical knowledge. Joiners, views, macros, functions. These are the things you are going to give the practical knowledge. This is the functions and store procedures. So up to here, this is the Teradata SQL. I think you are aware of the Teradata SQL content. And come with the third part, this is very important. We can import the data and we can export the data. So we have the file utilities are there. With the help of the file utilities, we are going to import and export. Different situation, you can use the different types of utilities. Based on occurrency, you can use the different utilities out of 5 utilities. So some of the utilities for import, some of the utilities for export. While using utilities, what is error severity is going on? Error severity means, log file here. So under the log file, you can work on that. See here, utilities. Error severity, your status, you can find out error severities. 0 means your data is going to be successful. If you are 12 or 8 like this, you will see that your status with help of the log file. That is the error severity. What type of data you can import and export? Data mode format, report mode format, and bracket format. And some situation you go for unformatted data also. And within the out of 5 utilities, we are going to use the 25 commands are there here. All the 25 commands, we are going to work on all the 5 utilities. Somewhere, for example, see here, this is the log file. Go for utility, we can use the sum of the utilities here, retake. This is the one scripting, what is the click on, what is the log on, what is the repeat star, what is the using. So these are some comments within your teradata utilities. So these are the things I can explain here is what is the repeat star, what is the click on, these are the things, commands. And the utility command, I can explain all the 25 utilities commands here. And then one by one utility. Explanation with practical. We take how to importing, how to exporting, how to executing within your teradata, execution navigation. Which script you are going to write it, which is in situation, not the scenarios. We take. So like here, one by one utility, we take fast load, what the fast load purpose, concept, restrictions. We have the two phases are there. What happened within the phase 1, what the phase 2, what happening. And here, error tables. When you create your import export situation, you can create some error tables are there. ER table, UV tables. What is the checkpoints? Very important, checkpoints. The restartability. What are the faster features? And example 1, 2, 3. That is the difference of situation. You can use the different types of utility scripting. What is a multi-load utility? So try this. You have one by one utility. What is the purpose of utility? Where you can work on that? Which is the situation you can work on that? We have the phase under there. So these are the 5 pages we are going to work on now with our utility topics. The multi-load. You have the phase under there. Multi-load statements. Initial phase. Email transfer phase. So what happened internally under the 5 pages under there? So these are the 5 pages. Initial phase, the transfers and activation phase. These are the things. Then situation. Example 1, example 2, example. So like this I can explain with execution with scripting on the tool teradata tool. What is the export utility? What is the TPUM utility? So like you can explain all the 5 utilities with the scripting execution. So up to here this is the third part. So once you have done the third part, go for some of the performance tunes. What the performance tune you are going to use under the teradata. So I can explain the performance tuning here. And up to here there is the third part. Come to the fourth part like a teradata administrator. See here. And the administrator, how you are going to work on that? How to give the grant permissions and a DBA. How much spaces are there each and every database spaces you can find out. How to use a space, how to grant the user permissions, privileges. So these are the basic concepts I will cover under the teradata DBA. The basic points here. See here, teradata grant permissions here. But within the work you can write the queries, something how to move the spaces and all. So all the users of how much space is there, how much size, school space, permanent space, these all the things I find out as a DPA. So this is the fourth part I can cover teradata DPA. And finally, I can explain, so within the ETL tool, ETL, I think you know about you are working in informatica. And the ETL tool, how you are going to work on the teradata, like a database, source or target within the ETL tool, data stage, informatica. These are the ETL tool. I can explain with some of the data stage, like a informatica. So within the data stage, ETL tool, how you can use the source or target like a teradata. So these are the topics we are going to cover within our class duration. So I can share the documents, all the multiple documents is available. These are the documents. And I have to provide the software. So I share my notes. I have provided all the utility descriptions. So like this, I have to go for one by one topics here. All the 4 parts I'm going to cover. So this is the my side. These are the topics we are going to cover within our sessions. Yes, Rahul, please.
Will you cover anything about the performance tuning and the security aspects of teradata?
Now, security level means your locking system, something here. You can go for that way. A performance tuning I showed right at the end of the point here. Performance tuning we are going to cover the PMON, performance monitoring.
Okay.
Some of the points we are going to cover the performance wise. These are the things, the topics, performance topics.
Okay. So like you said, I've been working with databases for quite some time. So I think the SQL part we can quickly cover.
Right. That's what I showed, right? You have aware of the SQL, you can very quick.
Right. Yeah. So the other thing is, the DDLs, DMLs, and DCLs. That is fine. I think the only new thing that I see there is the macros.
Right.
Which you don't have in other databases.
Right.
And the basic, so the way I would look at it is more practically in the sense that, utilities is an important one. The other one is while creating the user and allocating the storage to the users. How do you calculate the storage, requirements or parameters? Are there any scripts to calculate those numbers?
No. Based on your user planning wise, project planning wise, you are going to create the database as a DBA or development wise. I will explain both the things, development wise and also DBA wise. How to create the database? Something is here. See, create the user. And also within the development level also, you are going to create the database. I can explain both the things for you.
Okay, fine.
I'm skipping level. Right. See here. This is the development wise. Before that shown right at the DBA level.
Okay.
So this is our topic. Actually, I need the 20 hours of the class duration, and the total 20 hours are required. I think you are aware of SQL, right? So maybe it's 2-3 hours is minus. 17-18 hours we are going to work on that.
Yeah, I think time is not a constraint for me. We can spend more than 20 hours. Only thing is, I think I like what you presented. Is that it's going to be practical in nature, which is what I was looking for.
Right. Look, that's what I told, right? These are the practical I'm going to work on.
Right.
Utilities
Sure.
or DBA, these are the things. I showed, right?
Okay.
This is the DBA level.
Okay.
But basic DBA, not the in-depth DBA, that's a different. I can, whatever you require, a DBA, I can cover the topics. DBA.
Okay. What if we want to go a little in-depth into the DBA aspects?
DBA means that the Unix environment is going to connect the different servers lines here, in-depth means. We will not work on our own PCs. If you have the idea, you have the relative experience in the development environment, at least minimum 5 years, then you can understanding of your DBA in depth of your each and everything.
Minimum 5 years? Are you talking about 5 years in Teradata or 5 years to IT experience?
Teradata development.
Okay.
So DBA is somewhat the I think you know about DBA or some roles and all.
Yeah.
So what is the basic concept that DBA, what are things are there, I can cover each and everything.
Okay.
So these are the 4 classifications going to work on our Teradata training.
Okay. So what's the next today?
If any doubts, please ask your Ganesh. I think so. So that's on my side. This is our demo.
All right. Okay.